It certainly feels on a grander scale. Everything from the costumes to beautiful sets. The audience can expect more of the characters that they love.
I'm always surprised when you praise me.
I'm surprised to hear that I have.
It's just more of, I think, what people love about Downton.
Welcome to You Know That Scene, an original series celebrating iconic scenes in cinema. The scenes here are a jumping-off point for a discussion between our esteemed group of guests, a group of makers, authors, critics, and influencers who all share one thing in common: a love of film. The theme of this week's episode is place, as in filming location, also in family and in history as well, all in Great Britain. Downton Abbey has resonated with audiences around the world. It's highlighted Britain as a picturesque destination to visit for gorgeous locations and also the historic nostalgia.
When that theme song started, I smiled at the screen because it sets the scene for those memories that you have of that beloved TV series.
You know that scene right at the start, the music swells and then you pull up to Downton Abbey and you just get this feeling like we are back. You get those chills.
There's an entire avenue of tourism now that's based off of people going to see famous movie locations, but the Downton Abbey location is so iconic.
Just how rich every square inch of it always is. It does so much work, it's almost its own character.
Oh, yeah.
And then in real life, all those locations actually have history because that location has been in a particular family's lives for something like 500 years. Downton Abbey doesn't just feel like home, but the village of Downton then feels like an extension of it. So you guys know that scene where we get to see the parade and we get to see all the people. That location ties so beautifully into Downton Abbey itself. And in reality, those two locations are in two completely different spots. You have people going to Bampton looking for Downton Abbey itself, and they're like, sorry, that's in another place 50 miles away.
It's so cool, too, to be back and to feel again that you're a part of the community.
Yeah. Even if you aren't all that familiar with the incredible series, you're so immediately just drawn into the world. Like, you just feel immediately like you're there.
Yeah, and I was so sad that I did not have a cup of tea in my hand. Like, I am remiss.
It's another thing that is just running through the veins of both the show and the movie is the importance of history and class. And we see that on display full force, in particular with Carson, because you know that scene when Lady Mary approaches him and says, we need your help, and all of that sense of duty just creeps right back in.
Won't you help me? I feel I'm pushing a rock uphill.
I'll be there in the morning, my lady. Don't you worry.
You're a treasure, Carson.
He can't say no to her, just like he can't say no to Downton Abbey and what they've upheld there.
Well, this won't help us to economize. What is it?
The King and Queen are coming to stay.
What?
We find out that there'll be a royal visit, that the King and Queen are coming to Downton. The family gets excited, they have their duties, but more importantly, the kitchen staff has their duties. And you know that scene where Mrs. Patmore, the lead cook, and Daisy, her assistant cook, are in the kitchens talking about the King's visit.
With that sort, don't they like sauces and everything velouté and frappe and smothered in cream?
That sort is the King of England. There's only one of them in the world.
So who wouldn't want to cook for the King and Queen?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, I know what's expected of me. Food. You too, Daisy. So less philosophy, more elbow grease.
Miss Patmore runs such a tight ship that you get that taste of it again. You get reacclimated with all these characters and the way they operate, and then all of a sudden, you know, I mean, it's Downton Abbey, there's a lot of drama, someone has to throw a wrench in their plans.
Yeah.
So when that happens, it winds up being even more impactful because you've already resettled back in.
Welcome to Downton Abbey.
When we meet the royal staff, you guys know that scene when they show up with all of that, like, grandeur and like, this is not your house anymore.
There's no need for you to meddle, Mrs. Hughes. We will see to it.
Meddle? I don't believe I'm meddling in my own house, thank you. Andrew, yes, you take that.
But it's not your house, is it? So would you like to go and sit down?
As a fan of Downton Abbey, I was ready to revolt with them.
Right.
I was just like, you don't belong here.
I think it's rubbish. They impose, they demand, and now we're to be made nothing in our own house.
It isn't just their place of work. That location is also their home. It's not just their job. They take great pride in what they do. That's something that the movie really puts a spotlight on here. Because you also know that scene with Lady Mary and Anna, too, when they're discussing Downton's future.
What are you saying, milady?
Isn't it time to chuck in the towel? Lots of people have.
She's looking at changing times, and maybe there's a better path for her. And the fact that they come to that resolution where everybody realizes, no, we are here to take care of this important place.
Downton Abbey's the heart of this community, and you're keeping it beating.
Even though they are upstairs and downstairs, they're all one family, and they actually all care about the other side.
You know that scene where Violet starts to discuss how they can keep Downton into the family because there's that whole uproarious thing about who's going to take over the house.
You're plotting something. I see a Machiavellian look in your eye.
Machiavelli is frequently underrated.
When her face showed up on the screen, I was like, yes,
Right.
the drama has begun.
There's no getting away from Downton. It keeps pulling you back in.
It pulled us back in.
Yeah, it sure did.
I'm gonna go book a flight after this, I think. Because
That's the exciting thing about binge watching the show and then watching the movie is that you can actually go to these locations and experience it for yourself, take your own pictures. That's the coolest thing about entertainment is that you can be a part of your favorite shows and movies right now.
Yeah.
This was such a great conversation. Thanks to everybody out there for watching. And make sure to go to visitbritain.com/Downton Abbey. We've got more episodes in the coming weeks that we're so excited to share with you. So please like our page and also hit our subscribe button. And we're going to see you soon on the next episode of You Know That Scene.